Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to everyone. Once again, you are welcome here, on the platform of Awakening of Consciences. So, this is the headline of international news. The world was surprised to see the Slovak Prime Minister and Robert Fico break his silence, speak out, and step up to respond to the threats from the Ukrainian comedian Volodymyr Zelensky. Robert Fico, the Slovak Prime Minister who suddenly fell ill, along with the Serbian president, does not want to be left out of the events of May 9th. He speaks clearly. He explains the reason why he had a health issue. Ladies and gentlemen, the situation is serious. The ping-pong game between the decadent West and Russia is a fool's game that has reached another level, another threshold. So, I ask you to share this video conference. Share it as much as possible. Do you know? When you share, it gives energy to the video conference. It allows others to receive the news. Share the video conference as much as possible. There you go. And especially, don't forget to give it a lot of likes. And above all, put our political slogan in the comments. Do you write? To dare is already to win. Let's dive into the depths. We are talking about Robert Fico, the very one the Westerners wanted to send to eternal rest. Robert Fico, the Slovak Prime Minister, who in reality is European. His country is part of the European Union, but Robert Fico is in the mindset of Vladimir Putin. And so Robert Fico has been fought against for a long time. They want to send him to eternal rest, but he doesn't go. So, this gentleman breaks his silence. Allow me to drop the mic. Robert Fico breaks his silence and responds directly to Zelensky. First, he begins by clarifying his health issue. There, he attacks his adversaries within the Slovak state. He does not attack the West, but he still says that these are the people responsible for his health condition. He says, these people are incompetent. They say this, since they cannot contradict the success of public finances, they have chosen to attack my health after 5 bullets of their hunger. They have decided to attack Robert Fico's health. Now, when he says, since they cannot, it still gives the impression that these are people from it's among his political adversaries within his own state. But that's the impression we get. But we still don't know who he is talking about. Is he talking about Westerners? Question mark. But Robert Fico continued. It was during an exercise where he was standing, where he talked about many aspects, where he expressed his love for art. He defended programs related to art. He said this, it was today Sunday, May 4th, 2025. He said this. He says, this is unprecedented. I reject the threats from Volodymyr Zelensky. The security of participants at the celebrations in Moscow is the responsibility of Russia. Zelensky is mistaken in thinking that foreign delegations will not go to Moscow. As for me, I will be present at the celebrations of the 80th anniversary of Moscow's victory. That's it, period. Here's what he said first. So, Robert Fico confirms that he will indeed be present. He will be present. He will be with 2 parliamentarians and a student. He says that Zelensky is mistaken. In other words, the West is mistaken. You know, sir, share this video. This gentleman you see there, Robert Fico, is a determined man. My namesake. Roberts are often determined if they want to be determined, if they want to be as well. That is to say, everything they do, they exaggerate. I don't know why in Europe, when they want to take bad examples, they choose a certain Robert. Anyway, that was a little aside. Robert Fico is very determined. Very determined. And his determination confuses the Europeans. I told you yesterday that they wanted to. They are working on it. The European Union is working to remove Slovakia's veto right, since it is Slovakia that is blocking all decisions in favor of Ukraine. So let's delve deeper. Let's see what Robert Fico has said beyond that. He says that Zelensky is wrong to think that threats will prevent the events, marking Victory Day in Moscow, from taking place. He says, and the participation of foreign delegations in these events? He says, Zelensky is wrong. He does not want foreign delegations to participate in this event. Foreign delegations will indeed participate. What else does he say? He continues by saying that it is a profound lack of respect to tell a country that contributed the most to the victory over fascism and suffered the heaviest losses. Go ahead. Celebrate. Maybe we'll launch a drone or something else. He says it's a lack of respect. Russia, which fought hard against fascism, must be respected. So, and he makes this statement. And then towards the end he says, for me, it's unacceptable. So, he confirmed that he would go to Russia on May 9th, accompanied by parliamentarians. Not 2 parliamentarians, but 2 parliamentarians. And 2 students. We don't know the number of parliamentarians. How many will there be? The number is not given. So I correct what I said at the beginning of the video conference. That means Robert Fico is ready. He is ready. Even when he had a health issue, I believe he was able to resolve it as quickly as possible. And he is ready to go to Moscow. Despite the threats from the European Union, he is ready to go to Moscow. Here is someone who is really in Vladimir Putin's mind. Well, not only in Vladimir Putin's mind, but he feels free in his own mind. He wants another type of Europe to emerge. But unfortunately, he is misunderstood by many Europeans, even though many support him. He has become the star at the moment. You go on Facebook, type Robert Fico, and you'll see he's popular right now. So much so that his return is triumphant, and he will go to Moscow. We'll see what happens next. I'm telling you about this May 9th affair. Ha! It's going to heat up. It's a big showdown between NATO and Russia. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the international news headline. So thank you for sharing it as much as possible. I'll be back shortly with more news. This was the voice of your one and only samurai.